They knew exactly what you were feeling, every time, before you even said it. You thought that meant they cared. That's the part nobody warns you about. A dark empath doesn't lack empathy. They have too much of the wrong kind, and none of the kind that would stop them. This is the psychological profile almost nobody talks about, and it explains the person who read you perfectly, then used it against you. Psychologists split empathy into two separate systems. Most people assume empathy is just one thing. It isn't. Cognitive empathy is the ability to accurately read what someone else is feeling, like decoding a signal. Affective empathy is the ability to actually feel that emotion with them. The warmth, the pull to comfort, the discomfort at their pain. A dark empath has fully intact cognitive empathy. They read you with precision, but the affective part, the part that would make them care, stays switched off. This is different from a classic narcissist. A classic narcissist can't read you well at all. They project, they assume, they guess wrong constantly. A dark empath never guesses, they observe, and what they observe, they remember with unsettling accuracy. Dr. Delroy Paulhus, the psychologist who helped define the Dark Triad, narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, noted something researchers didn't expect. Some people who scored high on manipulation and low on remorse also scored high on empathic accuracy, high enough to predict your next move. That combination is the secret weapon, not cruelty, precision. And here's the part that makes it dangerous. Dark empaths use this precision selectively, warm and attentive with some people, cold and cutting with others. The switch isn't random, it's strategic. It happens exactly when it benefits them. Think back to the moment they first noticed you. How quickly did they know your favorite thing, your insecurity, your soft spot? Most people take months to learn that about someone. A dark empath can do it in a single conversation. That's not a compliment, that's reconnaissance. Dr. Robert Hare, who spent decades studying psychopathy, described this exact skill in the people he interviewed, the ability to read a room and know instantly who holds the power in it. Dark empaths carry a milder version of that same radar. Enough to be dangerous, not enough to be obvious. This is why they're so hard to identify. They don't look like the manipulator you were warned about. They look like the person who finally understood you. Here's the scene almost everyone recognizes but never names. You're venting about something painful. They listen perfectly. They say exactly the right thing back. For a moment, you feel more understood than you have in years. Weeks later, that exact vulnerability becomes the thing they use to control you. That's not a coincidence. That's the mechanism working exactly as designed. Here's the counterintuitive twist almost nobody expects. Dark empaths aren't drawn to weak, naive targets. They're drawn to emotionally intelligent people, the ones who feel deeply and articulate it well. Why? Because emotionally intelligent people give the clearest signal. There's more data to read, more precision to extract. If you've ever wondered why the person who hurt you most seemed to understand you better than anyone, this is why. You weren't chosen because you were an easy target. You were chosen because you were a rich one. Dr. Judith Herman's work on trauma describes how repeated, precise emotional targeting, even without physical harm, creates the same nervous system patterns as sustained threat. Your body doesn't need a bruise to register danger. It registers being read too accurately, too often by someone who never once used that knowledge to protect you. This is the modern mirror of the whole pattern. It's not just romantic partners. It shows up in charismatic bosses, in friends who always know what to say, in leaders who seem to understand the room better than anyone else in it. Any relationship built on being read without being cared for eventually feels the same. Efficient, precise, hollow. So how do you actually spot this in real time, before the pattern completes itself? First signal, they know your soft spots faster than your closest friends do. Speed itself is the tell. Second signal, their warmth turns on and off depending on what they need from you, not on how you're actually doing. Third signal, when you're hurt, their first move is managing how it looks, not repairing how you feel. Fourth signal, you feel deeply understood and somehow still deeply alone. None of these signals alone means much. All four together repeated. That's the pattern. Here's the permission most people never get. Noticing this pattern doesn't make you paranoid. It makes you accurate. The same skill they used on you now pointed the right direction. You don't need to diagnose anyone. You don't need a label to trust the pattern you're seeing. Dr. Stan Tatkin's research on secure functioning describes safety in a relationship as consistency, care that doesn't disappear the moment it's inconvenient. That's the opposite of what a dark empath offers. Their attention is a spotlight, not a sunrise. It moves, it has an agenda. The people who are safest for you are rarely the ones who read you the fastest. They're the ones whose care doesn't change once they fully understand you. So think back to that person who understood you before anyone else did. Ask the only question that matters. Did their care survive knowing you completely? If the answer is no, that was never empathy protecting you. That was empathy studying you. They knew exactly what you were feeling every time, before you even said it. Now you know why, and now you know what to look for the next time it happens. If this helped you name something you felt for a long time, subscribe. There's more of this hidden psychology waiting.